Good afternoon and welcome to Midday Live. We're broadcasting live from our studios here at Adesanwe in Accra. My name is Solis Rose Cordy. Coming up in the bulletin this afternoon. This afternoon, 20 Forex bureaus robbed in 2018 alone as operators cry for help. Security experts describe sex scandal against some 46 Ghanaian police peacekeepers as that of international power play. Also this afternoon, Accra Regional Passport Office closed. No word from officials as yet, and clients are stranded. Now, did the Director of State Protocol goof at the World Governors Forum? We'll find out more about this particular trend. And in business this afternoon, government to continue structural reforms to consolidate economic gains made in 2017. And on the foreign front, a 5-hour pause in Syrian government's assault on rebel-held Eastern Ghouta outside Damascus underway. Well, so we have more in the world of sports as well as entertainment coming up in the next 60 minutes. Let's start off the bulletin with issues regarding the passport office, as this particular office on the Gamal Abdul Nasir Street around the Ridge Hospital roundabout has been closed. Now, there has been no word from any official at the office as policemen continue to man the gates. Now, senior editor at TV3 Bright Nana Amfo visited the passport office and has come through with this report.
I am on the Gamal Abdul Nasser Street. This is the street that runs in front of the Ghana Institute of Journalism through to the Maritime Authority to the passport office. Now, this passport office serves a number of clients, apart from the one at the former Foreign Affairs Ministry, main Accra. Now, clients who have come in this morning are told that the office is locked up and that they can't get in there to transact businesses. Some of them said they were here last week and they were told that the place is shut down for a reason. Officials in there are suggesting that the recent rains has caused some development and some repairs will have to be done. So all the offices have been shut. Even those who are picking their passport can't be guaranteed the chance to go and pick them because there is no officer here, and you can only find policemen on guard duties at the main gate. People who have traveled from far and near are worried that at least they should have been told that the office is not working. They have been told, however, that all other inquiries will need to be directed to the other office in main town, Accra.
All right, so that's a senior editor here at TV3, Bright Nana Amfo. He also joins me in the studio, so we take a closer look at exactly what ensued at the passport office today. First of all, Bright, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for joining me.
Sorry.
All right, so what exactly made you end up at the passport office today?
All right, so we've been trying to collect a couple of passports from the office. Last week, Friday, we're there. And you could not get to speak to anybody at the office. You only will meet policemen on guard duties at the main gate. This is the one on the this side of, not the main one in town, the former Foreign Affairs Office. This is the one on the Gamal Abdul Nasser Street, the one that runs to GIG to the Liberation Center or the Ridge roundabout. We're told that there was a problem with the systems there on Friday, so we should come on Tuesday, today, to pick it. We went there and the situation was same. There were no officers there, just policemen there. So we tried to find out. Our sources said that, look, there's a problem there. The recent rains might have caused some damage to some electrical equipment there. So some rewiring is being done. So the facility has closed down. Then we asked questions. So why wouldn't you alert the public? Because there and then we found a lot of people there who have traveled from Kumasi, Takoradi to come and access their passports there. Why aren't you informing anybody that this office isn't working, so that people have to move from their homes to the place before they are told that you can't transact business here, go to the other office, main Accra. And the people there obviously were not happy because they had seen cameras there. I was really heckled. In fact, I heard some few officers say that they should go and detain me because I had come to the place with a camera and do not have permission. And I said, I am only trying to do your work for you. You have closed down this place for 2 weeks without informing people. I'm here to let the people know that this office is closed, so that if they need any service here, they should go to the other office. And yet, the officers will not understand. They kept heckling me. They took my cameraman's camera. There's a gentleman, I saw him in a polo shirt, said that he wanted to take the tape from the camera. And I told him that I was only trying to speak to the people around. Then he said it's a security zone. I said it is true, it is a security zone, but I took the people from the road or the street in front of the passport office to the Physicians and Surgeons College. There's a stretch there to speak to. Is that area also a security zone? They will not understand. So that is the issue there. If you have to go and pick your passport, if your passport is being completed and you have to go and pick it, you cannot do it. In fact, it remained closed as at the time I left there at about 11 a.m. You're directed to go and come back. But if you're doing any other business, you're told to go to the main office, the other office
in effect, what you're saying is that you only get this information about going to the other office only when you get to the premises. Exactly
the point. And I spoke to some ladies there. The officers there don't even seem to understand why I have no right to speak to the people, the clients who have come to access services there, and that it is a security zone as a chief. So I can't speak to people here, even engage in a conversation. Their issue is that it is a security zone. Okay. So there are people there from Kumasi. I spoke to a lady from Kumasi. She said she came there and she's been told that she can't be attended to, so she has to go. She's only there to renew a passport. Yes.
Now, we'd like viewers to note that we have been trying tirelessly to reach officials to get an official statement on exactly why the passport office was closed. Unfortunately, we are unable to do so, but we will keep trying, and then we'll be the first to give you the information as and when we do get it. Now, Bright, finally, tell us about the mood. Well, the way people looked there.
Well, for those clients who have gone there, it is not anything new. I mean, the passport office is one place that it's not a place we want to be at all, because according to them, they treat them with that kind of scorn anytime there are issues. They're only asking that if there are issues there and they can't access services there, why can't they be told? Okay, let us know so that I don't need to put fuel in my car. I, for instance, drove there after work last Friday, and then I am told that come the next week Tuesday, and I go, it's the same thing. I buy fuel. Okay, I am lucky from Accra. There are people who I spoke to there from Kumasi. There's a lady from Takoradi. There's a lady from, he said she came from Sefiwi, also one village there. So she's contemplating on what to do. Okay, so they're only saying that if you're not opening access to people there at that office, let them know so that they will need to come there before they are turned off to go.
Okay, thank you very much, Bright Nanamfo. He's a senior journalist and a senior editor here at TV3, basically giving us some information regarding the closure of the passport office around the Ridge roundabout. Now, let's move over and do some other stories. The Ghana Association of Forex Bureaus says its members are living in constant fear following incessant armed robbery attacks on them in Accra and Tema. Now, this year alone, over 20 Forex bureaus have so far been attacked by armed robbers in Accra and Tema in the Greater Accra region. While most of the robbers carried out their attack at night when the operators had closed, a number of them, on the other hand, displayed sheer bravado by holding operators hostage in broad daylight and made away with their sales containing cash. Now, some of the Forex Bureau robbed this year, including Emma Jet's Forex Bureau at Bachona, Shan Forex Bureau at Spintex, Forbes Forex Bureau near Bachona, Total and Golden Expression Forex Bureau located at Community 18 Junction on the Spintex Road. Now, the armed robbers succeeded in making away with unspecified amounts of money, including foreign currency, but affected operators are reluctant to disclose how much they have lost. All right, so we've been joined in the studio by Yusuf Ibrahim Osman. He's a secretary and executive member of the Forex Bureau Operators Association of Ghana. Thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Right, now, with this particular issue, one might wonder, how did the robbers get to these operators?
Well, they normally come in the evenings when businesses are closed. So it's more or less burglaries. When our businesses are closed, that is when they pounce on the offices.
So they break through with...
Yeah, normally if you are not very secure officers, then they are able to gain access to the office. Now, normally when they get into the offices, they try to carry away the thief with them. If they are unable to break in, that is provided. If the thieves happen to be lightweight, they carry them along. If they are very secure, they attempt to break into the safes to take away the money. Otherwise, they try to take some valuable items within the offices.
And now, banks and other financial institutions have some mandatory security things that they implement to ensure that things don't go that way. With Forex bureaus, is there anything of the sort in place?
Exactly. I mean, our regulatory body, that's the Bank of Ghana, require us to, first and foremost, to ensure our various offices for the recording of such events.
Okay.
Secondly, they advise us to have very strong safes. As a matter of fact, they come to inspect some of these safes to ensure that in the event of such occurrences, the robbers may not be, or the intruders may not be able to gain access to the various safes. So, but what happens is that some of our members, are not so security conscious, and they think, well, they can, cut corners, by not having the adequate security that they need in their offices. So that, but those who have really secured their offices well, when it happens, they sometimes even gain entrance into the premises, but are not able to do any harm to the Forex bureaus, except, the little, how to call damage they do in trying to gain entrance to the various offices.
And now you mentioned yourself that it seems from what you've said that your members take their security for granted. And if this is the case, then they can't really sort of blame, the security agencies too much for this.
No, what I mean by taking, sometimes they have enough security, but okay, they have security, but it might not be adequate in event of such happening.
What type of security are we talking about?
Okay, well, most of this is happening in the evenings when the businesses are closed. So obviously, it's not all of us who have police guard or security guards who guide our officers till daybreak, because we assume, the robbers will really attempt to do it during the daytime.
Right.
So, but when it happens in the evening, well, it's not in all the instances that they were able to cut away money.
Okay.
Some of them, they gain access, but they realize that because the offices are very fortified, they are not able to do so except to take some maybe valuable items here and there.
Okay, hold that thought for a second. We've been joined on the phone lines by ASP Efiatinge, and she's going to give us more info about this particular robbery and this trend of attacks and targeting Forex bureaus. Now, good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
All right, my pleasure.
Now, let's move straight into this. The police is obviously aware of these robberies. What has been done so far?
Hello, what's going? Hello?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Background information, I can hardly hear you.
Okay, so in the year 2018 alone, it's been recorded that about 20 Forex bureaus have been robbed. Most of them happening in the night, but a few daring ones in broad daylight. Obviously, these are issues that the police is aware of. What we want to know is what exactly has been done or is being done to curb this situation.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, the police can say that yes, we are aware about what is happening. But as with the statistics, you know, it cuts across two regions, that is Tema and Accra. So I may not be able to state the number that has been, written by the paper. Yes, we can say that we experienced some breakings of some foreign bureaus in recent times. And we also had few robberies among them. And apart from we receiving the report, there's not as if the police was sitting and doing nothing. Actually, that was 3 weeks ago. We had 3 suspects who were arrested in a robbery of Forex Bureau in Louvois.
All right. Unfortunately, we're experiencing a bit of issue with the sound there, but we'll be speaking with her in our subsequent bulletins. Now, let's wrap up with you, sir. The police can do its part, but on the part of your members, what do you plan on doing about this? Because you've obviously noted that there are some laxes in your security.
Exactly. When this thing came to our attention, first of all, we created the necessary awareness among members that this is what is really happening, so we need to sit up. So we conscientize them in terms of having to sit up and see that things have changed and then we are being targeted by the robbers. That's the first thing. We also encourage our members to renew their various insurance, that was supposed to be mandatory. If you haven't renewed your insurance and such thing happens, it means you might end up losing all the money that is gone. We did that. And then we also got in touch with the police, who also assured us that, we need to give them our various locations within the country so that they will ensure that their patrol teams in the evenings will be passing by and then, monitoring our various officers.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, sir. I've been speaking with Yusuf Ibrahim Osman. He's a secretary and an executive member of the Forex Bureau Operators Association of Ghana. Let's do some other stories now. And a security expert and the Faculty of Academic Affairs Director at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, Dr. Emmanuel Kwesi Enin, is alleging the sex scandal against some 46 Ghanaian police peacekeepers could be that of international power play. Now, the United Nations has indicted the Ghanaian troop over sexual exploitation, and Dr. Enin is demanding a more robust response from government to unearth what he thinks could be a hidden agenda.
Talk about 2 successful missions that have been rotated. Success doesn't make you friends. It brings envy, it brings jealousy. Now, particularly when we are talking about multi-million-dollar businesses, Ghana's failure opens avenues and opportunities for other countries to send their own troops. Don't forget, countries have been banned from sending troops because of sexual exploitation and abuse. What we should be worried about is why this information was released so quickly, because we got to know about this on Friday. But at the same time that we got to know, it was already in the international media. Okay, whose role or whose interest is it to place this out in the international media? And why are we so quiet about it? This is not about the IGP sending 3 people, because this is a game being played at a level much higher than him. And we need some other heavyweight politicians with the appropriate international gravitas to be speaking and saying, look, don't mess with us. We won't tolerate this. We've played this game with you for almost 60 years, we've lost more than 200 men and women. So don't play this game with that. We will not accept it. So somebody is dropping the ball somewhere.
Now, the chairman of Parliament's Subsidiary Legislation Committee, Mahama Ayariga, says he is serving notice to the Youth Employment Agency to cease the disbursement of funds as Parliament is yet to give its approval. Speaking against the use of unfettered discretionary power of the Youth Employment Agency, he noted the agency risks causing financial loss if it goes ahead to disburse any fund. He spoke on Sunrise on 3FM.
What has happened has happened. But from the point when people get to know that what they are doing is wrong, continue to do it. Because this afternoon, I am serving a letter to the Chief Executive of YEA and the Minister responsible for Labour to draw their attention that I haven't seen the regulations. If they have it, they should bring it for me to see. If they don't have it, then they should cease disbursements. They should cease all forms of payments and run to Parliament and lay the regulations and have us pass it for them so that they can go back and continue doing what they are doing. Because if they don't, then causing financial loss may be visited upon them. So if I serve them a letter today, drawing their attention, and they still go ahead tomorrow and go and pay any company for anything, either under any sanitation or health or education or whatever, when they haven't had the authorization by Parliament, then clearly they have moved from not knowing to being reckless. And that raises a completely different legal question. So I think that we have to get back to the principles and the values of justice which underpins our Constitution, the rules of fairness, the rules against unfettered arbitrary power, and justice for all. It has to stop here with us, with our generation.
Now let's do some politics and head over to the camp of the NDC, where former President Jerry John Rawlings is concerned some leading members of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, are laying the foundation to keep the party in opposition for a long time. According to him, the corruption by some of those who were in office, resulting in a humiliating defeat in the last election, does not appear to have affected their conscience and reasoning in any way. The former leader made these remarks on Monday in relation to comments by his party's Member of Parliament for Ododo Diodio constituency, Edwin Nilante van der Poel. The former Youth and Sports Minister is said to have told NDC supporters during the Somanya edition of the periodic Unity Walk that the party will win the 2020 elections and get recently convicted Abuga Pele, a former MP, out of prison. But he has since come under a barrage of criticism. Without mentioning the name of Nilante van der Poel, Mr. Rawlings in a statement said the quest for political power is not to release wrongdoers from prison. Now, still on this issue, and meanwhile, the NDC has described as absurd the comments by the Ododo Diodio MP to the effect that the NDC will free Abuga Pele when they come to power. Johnson Asiedu Nketia is the General Secretary of the NDC.
Background to his conviction. Realize that it will be absurd for anybody to suggest that another NDC government will come and free him, because he was not prosecuted by an NPP government. He was prosecuted by an NDC government. The investigation that led to his prosecution was conducted by an NDC government. So it just happened that conviction has happened when NPP is in power. NPP doesn't have any hand in convicting Honorable Abuga Pele. It is indeed from we ourselves and our belief in fighting waste and corruption. It is only the court that decides whether somebody has done wrong or hasn't done wrong. When there is an allegation, if a member of our party finds himself in jail, emotionally, I mean, we are all at pain. We will feel it. But this is the wrong time to seek to subject the state interest national interest to individual, personal, and political interest. I don't think that, wrongdoing has political colors. If we did that, we cannot make any progress in our fight against wrongdoing. We initiated the prosecution. We initiated the...
Now let's do some trending issues, and State Protocol has reacted to a video on social media purporting that Director of State Protocol Ambassador Ahmed Hassan was denied a handshake by Governor Brian Sandoval of Nevada at the Governors Conference in the United States. Now in a release, Assistant Director of State Protocol at the Office of the President, Joseph J. Bannon, said the suggestions and interpretations given the video is misleading and completely false. He said Ambassador Hassan is a well-accomplished and meticulous diplomat who is well-versed in the protocol and entreated the public to disregard the false suggestions being peddled. Now, let's still stay with this trending issue. Now, the question is, did he really stretch his hands to shake the governor? And we're talking about Ambassador Hassan Ahmed. Let's take a look at this angle you've probably not seen before. Take a look. All right, let's do some other stories. And pupils of Dawu Sanfo Municipal Assembly JHS study under trees after the collapse of their classroom block. They are frustrated by the constant disruption of lessons due to unfavorable weather conditions.
It's 7:20 in the morning at Dawu Sanfo MA Basic School in the Ikuapem North Municipality of the Eastern Region. This is how pupils have had their lessons since April 2017, after a makeshift structure used as a classroom was demolished due to its poor state. Teaching and learning has since been held under trees. The District Assembly has provided 3 whiteboards and markers for the school and promised to put up a new classroom block for pupils. The situation is not only affecting academic performance, but enrollment. In 2017, the school scored 41.1% in the BECE, worse than previous years. Pupils want urgent action.
When it's in the noon, we always felt the hotness of the sun. It always scorches us. So we've been shifting from one place to another for a shade under the trees.
Because we are under the trees, we can't concentrate. When someone or animal is coming, we tend to look, and that disturbs us. I want the government to come and build our school for us.
The Ikuapem North Municipal Chief Executive, Dennis Abwaje, says the reconstruction of the school block has been captured in the 2018 budget.
I realized it was a very difficult situation. Sourcing for funding around that time was a bit of a challenge. But thankfully, this year, we budgeted for them. And so we are very soon going to start the processes for procuring whoever is going to get the school building up for us.
Until then, pupils must endure the hardship. And in other stories, a pungent smell from a drain behind the Ejisu Methodist Preparatory and JHS is affecting enrollment in the school. Now, school authorities say some parents have withdrawn their awards from the school due to the stench and the danger the open drain poses to their wards. A report by Beatrice Spiogabra. The Ejisu Methodist Preparatory and JHS, established in 1986, currently has an enrollment of 330 students. Due to its central location, it's used to be the preferred choice for parents for their wards to reduce transportation cost. There is, however, a constant reduction in the enrollment, which, according to the head teacher, is due to the open drain behind the school. Wastewater upstream the Ejisu community passes through this drain. Solid and liquid waste upstream the Ejisu township flows through the drain and lodges behind the classroom. Head teacher of the school, Samuel Victor Nano, explained the municipal assembly abandoned the storm drain it was constructing a few years ago. He told the news team the stench from the solid and liquid waste pollutes the air and adversely affects teaching and learning.
I'll be grateful if the assembly can come continue the drain to the other side of the town for us.
A JHS pupil, Lordina Entry Terrier, said the students have to leave the classrooms and go home when the stench is unbearable. She requested the authorities to complete work on the drain to enable them have a conducive teaching and learning environment.
The bad scent from the gutter distracts us from learning, especially in the afternoon. When it just happened that we just get out, and some people even get sick because of the smell. Please, I will urge the government to come and help us.
The Superintendent Minister of the Ejisu Methodist Church, Very Reverend Ebenezer Ajamain Bedu, said the church would have continued with the project, but the cost was beyond its means.
Okay, with the children around, it's very dangerous. Anything can happen, any child can fall in. We were trying to consult the Member of Parliament around this area, but all attempts have been failed.
The Ejisu Joabing Municipal Chief Executive, Beatrice Sewa Dechi, promised engineers of the Assembly would intervene by assessing the work done so far.
All right, now today on MTN Video Report, our citizen journalist Christian Tete reports on the state of electricity poles at Kaswa in the Central Region.
As you can see, this dangerous, disastrous pole here, it burned almost 2 years ago. But I don't know, our leaders got it and do anything about it. So do something about it. You see almost about two poles here. See the second one. They can see that. This one too have burned. My name is Christian Tete, reporting from Kaswa Ofanko, Mrs. Cottage.
Now let's do some more politics, and this is from the NDC head office, and the General Secretary of the NDC, Asiedu Inketia, says Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo should stay off blatant untruth and propaganda. The advice is in response to the Corruption Perception Index report issued last week, which scored Ghana 40%. The MPP had earlier said the low ranking is as a result of the rot under the previous government. Now, also 6 markets and 2 economic enclaves have been selected out of 49 to benefit from the Electricity Access Project under the Millennium Challenge Compact 2. The project, which is part of measures to improve access to electricity and also reduce illegal connections in the markets, is pegged at $10 million. The selected markets include Dansuman Market, Makola Market, Medina Market, Kaneshi Market, Agbogloshi 1 Market, and Accra Timber Market. And now from the courts, the Human Rights Division of the Accra High Court has set March 20 to begin hearing a writ for judicial review in the case in which the chief of Strogbe Togbi Patamia IV and 6 others have sued the Attorney General, the Commission of Inquiry for the Creation of New Regions, and the Minister for the Regional Reorganization over uneven distribution of the venue for the public hearings. You're still watching Midday Live. We'll be right back with more after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to Midday Live. Don't forget we're streaming worldwide via our website, www.3news.com. Let's do some more news. Now, government would bring financial closure in September this year on the giving out of the electricity company on a 20-year concession agreement. This is to allow the new ECG roll out initiatives focusing on renewable energy to improve the country's power supply.
The Chief Director of the Ministry of Energy, Lawrence Apostle, gave this hint at an awards night organized by the Electricity Company of Ghana in Accra to climax its 50th anniversary celebrations. The Chief Director, who represented the sector minister, recounted the uncertainties which have characterized the sale of ECG. He emphasized that under the new arrangement, Ghanaians will be allowed to own 51% of the shares in ECG. He was hopeful the new ECG will help mobilize revenue.
The ministry has directed ECG to develop a strategic plan and organizational structure for the restructured ECG. Primarily, the restructured ECG will perform its function as a responsible asset owner and will be in charge of bulk power trading.
Board chairman of ECG, Kelly Gajepo, is confident ECG will expand its operations under the concession agreement.
We expect to go into newer areas, into bolder areas, areas that will allow ECG to focus more on developing the infrastructure of ECG, and particularly to be able to get into newer areas like power trading and also to supply power beyond the shores of Ghana.
Managing Director of ECG, Engineer Boakye Appiah, was elated about the company's recruitment drive, which stands at 6,000 for the past 50 years. Despite these achievements, he was worried about the lack of cost-effective tariffs for the company. Engineer Boakye Appiah assured the workers that nobody will be laid off under the concession agreement.
ECG has therefore not been sold, contrary to what others believe. I wish to reiterate my assurance to our stakeholders, and especially to all employees, that ECG will continue to exist as an electric utility. According to the transaction conditions, there will be no involuntary job losses for the entire period of the concession.
Awards were presented to some institutions, which included the VRA, JICA, GCB, and the Public Utilities Workers Union pool.
Now, an energy expert, Kwame Jantwa, has suggested government comes out with an alternative approach to achieve the 51% local content policy should all the ECG concession bidders pull out from the process. He was reacting to media reports that the French-led consortium made up of CH Group, EDF and Veolia has rejected government's 51% mandatory local content policy.
Kwame Jantwa noted the French-led consortium is representing its shareholders, and if they are not satisfied with the deal, a pull-out is possible.
At least 30% of that 51% should be given to ECG workers. And ECG workers, through their pension fund, can cover that percentage that they are giving them. Then out of that percentage, 21% should be given to AGI, and the rest floated on the stock exchange.
The Ghana Power Compact, through the Millennium Development Authority, MIDA, is to help provide the country with sustainable power supply by the injection of financial and technical support. The concessionaire will have to put in close to $500 million in 5 years on the start of the concession. Originally, the concession was for 25 years and 20% local content. That was reviewed by the current government to 20 years and 51% local content. The energy expert was worried about the capacity of ECG to produce and sell power after the concession period.
I don't subscribe for ECG to be taken out of this whole process. ECG should be a keen participant in this process, and that key participant should not only be on the distribution end, but also should be part and parcel of the retail end. We need to try as much as possible to find a way where ECG also participates in this entire process, because those concessionaires who are coming in are not going to be here forever and ever.
Energy expert Kojo Poku noted the French-led consortium did not reject the 51% local content policy.
They wrote to MIDA to get some clarification on the structure by which the 51% is supposed to be.
He said it is the responsibility of the consortium to look for other alternative in financing if one of the financiers is not happy with the 51% local content policy.
If one particular financier has a problem with the structure of the 51%, open a dialogue on, okay, you are saying 51%. I have my own ideas on how that 51% will work. Other people have their own ideas. It's not a straitjacket approach.
Now, the Mobile World Congress 2018, one of the biggest events on the mobile technology calendar, is underway, and it's proving to be an exciting year for flagship technological companies. Now, every year, the world's biggest smartphone manufacturers descend on Barcelona to announce their new phones, with the Galaxy S9 and Galaxy S9 Plus leading the charge. My colleague Alfredo Canse is in Barcelona and has the following updates.
The Mobile World Congress, happening live at the Plaza Europa here in Barcelona, Spain, has lived up to its expectation. Lots of groundbreaking, revolutionary technology by all mobile telephone companies, leading mobile telephone companies across the world, on display right here.
Over 2,300 exhibitors have gathered to showcase the newest technologies and most innovative products available. This year is proving to be an exciting year for flagships, with the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus leading the charge.
People who have thronged the Mobile World Congress 2018 are anticipating the experience that they would have with the S9 and S9 Plus.
Both the S9 and S9 Plus refine the Galaxy's already mature design. Perhaps the biggest physical change here, besides the addition of a badass lilac purple color option, is around the back of the phone, where the fingerprint scanner has been moved to sit just below the camera. The thing Samsung hyped the most when debuting the S9 and S9 Plus is its new and improved camera. Jumping into the animated, facial mapped emoji craze, Samsung is introducing AR emoji. Additionally, Samsung has added improvements to DeX, the app that lets you connect the phone to a keyboard and monitor for desktop-like experience. The official Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus release date is Friday, March 16, as Samsung announced at its Unpacked 2018 reveal event in Barcelona. However, those who pre-order online will get a free Samsung LED cover valued at 250 Ghana cedis. Actual stock of the new S9 and S9 Plus will be available in Ghana by end of March.
Some exciting news there for mobile technology lovers. We'll be right back with more news updates after this. Don't go away.
Hi, good afternoon. It's time to run by you the latest sports stories here on Midday Live. My name is Yao Ofosulabi. Now, the Ghana Football Association and the Premier League Board have unveiled a new logo for the Ghana Premier League. The new logo was unveiled during the launch of the new season at the FA Secretariat on Monday. The pictogram, which was shown to the public, has a big black star designed in the colors of Ghana, that's red, yellow, green and black, with a ball stationed at the top. This is after the league was put on hold by an injunction placed on its start by Great Olympics. But with the Accra High Court lifting the injunction last week, the clubs are set to begin football this weekend. Well, so all is set for the start of the Ghana Premier League this weekend after the competition was launched in Accra on Monday, and PLB chairman Ashford Teteoku, who was in high spirits at the event, welcomed the newly promoted teams to the league and was forced to remind them on how tough a terrain it will be for them to play in Ghana's top flights.
Opportunity to welcome Dreams FC, Karela, and 11 Wonders to the party, and further remind them that here the urge to compete is good but not enough. It is the drive to survive and excel which is very important. Our clubs are ready and have complied with all pre-season requirements, i.e. strip declaration, payment of affiliation fees, submission of audited accounts where required, among others. The referees are going through their paces to ensure quality delivery. cameramen have just completed a review seminar. FIFA has just updated our competition management system.
Right, so you heard from the chairman of the Professional League Board there. But off now to some women's football, and Ghana's Black Queens are hoping to build on their Wafu Cup success as they prepare for the Women's Cup of Nations, which Ghana is hosting later this year. At the heart of the campaign will be Mercy Tego, the coach who guided them to Wafu success and who is continuing to rewrite the history books.
Mercy Tego is convinced she's finally proving that she's a top women's coach after she took the Black Queens to the Wafu title in an acting capacity. The Black Queens overcame an opening day defeat by Ivory Coast to beat Nigeria and then Ivory Coast in the final to leave Tego a deeply satisfied woman.
Nobody goes to a tournament and said, I'm going to have a sightseeing and come back. We went there for a purpose, and by God's grace, we have achieved it. Many are people who never had hope that this team could bring something like this. But God has been on our side. We've been able to go and achieve something.
It was only the second major title for the Black Queens after the All-Africa Games. Tego also becomes the first woman to win a major title with the Black Queens. It is one of the many firsts of her. She played in Ghana's first World Cup in 1999, became the first female referee to officiate in the Ghana Premier League when she switched to refereeing before turning her attention to coaching. Tego wants to add coaching at the Women's Nations Cup to that list.
Like I said, yes, God's will is not my will. All the time I say, may His will be done.
Right, so straight to the English Premier League. And the problems at Arsenal are compounding. Sunday's performance looked like the last straw, and it has triggered a lot of fans to bring back the talk on whether Arsene Wenger will stay at the club or not. Former Arsenal striker Ian Wright says he could not make a case for Arsene Wenger to remain as manager beyond the end of the season.
There's such a divide there now that I think that we're going to have to see it play out, and it's going to be interesting to see if he stays beyond this season, because I can't see how he can actually make a case for himself staying after, especially if it continues. Because what's going to happen is Arsenal, they'll probably beats a couple of teams along the way before the season finishes, because that's what we do. And then, you know, everybody will be happy.
They'll finish the season quite strong.
Finish the season strong.
Yeah, that's it.
But really, something it's got to be arrested, this development of mediocrity, which Arsenal now find themselves.
Right, so you heard from the Arsenal striker there. The former Arsenal striker Ian Wright scored 185 goals for them. My name is Yao Ofosulabi, and that's how we end the sports segment this afternoon. We'll take international news next.
All right, now let's do some international news, and let's look at some other issues that happened sometime over the week in our flash process. For and against secession from Spain marked Spanish King Felipe's visit to Barcelona to inaugurate an international exhibit of cell phone producers. Now, it was his first trip to the Catalan capital since an October regional vote for independence. Media General's Alfredo Canse reports from Barcelona.
Resistance to the imposition of Catalan was manifested by hospital workers last week in the Balearic Islands, which will be encompassed in a projected Catalan state. Now, thousands of Catalan independence supporters filled the theater in Barcelona on Sunday to hear their exiled leader say via video from Belgium that King Felipe would only be accepted and welcomed to Catalan if he apologized for opposing independence. Now, police presence has been beefed up after Sunday's protest in Barcelona. Alfredo Canse, TV3 News, Barcelona.
Up next is entertainment news. Now, in entertainment news this afternoon, you probably might have heard yesterday, there was some great news for all music lovers and, of course, for those of you who love Media General. Media General signed an MOU to partner with Charterhouse for the 19th edition of VGMAs.
Ghana's leading media conglomerate, Media General, has gone into a major partnering with Charterhouse, organizers of the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards VGMA, to show the prestigious awards live on your screens.
Well, Media General and Charterhouse are happy to announce a partnership that would allow millions of Ghanaians across the country unlimited access to the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, which is slated for the 14th of April 2018.
What this means for viewers of TV3 is that you get to enjoy the full 360 experience of the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards exclusively on TV3.
The VGMA board will on Friday, March 2, unveil the much-awaited list of nominees for the 19th awards event. For a start, TV3 will bring to viewers a live experience of the much-awaited moment.
You can tune in from Friday, the 2nd of March, to get exclusive access to the announcement of the nominees for this year's event. And we'll bring you news from the launch, as from the launch party taking place on Saturday at Movenpick as well.
Through the partnership, viewers of TV3 will have unlimited access to all VGMA 2018 coverage, including exclusive access to the pre-event nominees jam in Cape Coast, the red carpet on the main night, as well as full access to the live awards night coverage scheduled for 14th April.
The things that go into making the event happen, and all the oohs and ahs and the reactions from the winners and all of that. So TV3 bringing you all that access, and of course you can watch the main event live on TV3 from beginning to end as well. And to climax it, TV3 will bringing you live access from the Celebration Jam, which will be done in Tema on the 28th of April as well. So it's a full 360 experience of the Vodafone Ghana Music Award.
The move, the group CEO of Media General, Pearl Ishiamensa, noted, is in line with the company's commitment to treat viewers to exciting content while supporting the local creative arts industry.
TV3, Ghana's leading TV station, we believe in promoting our own. Over the years, we have led the industry in supporting the creative arts industry. We've promoted local content across music, drama, movies, news and current affairs. For our viewers, it's an exciting time, hours of entertaining and engaging content. And for our partners and advertisers, it's a unique opportunity for them to have a platform to engage with their audience. So I think overall it's going to be an exciting time for everybody.
A memorandum of understanding was signed to symbolize the partnership. For all the golden moments, behind the scene reactions, as well as the glamour which the VGMA comes with, stay with TV3.
Osa, osa, oh. Definitely some good news there. And that's how we wrap up Midday Live here on TV3. My name is Solis Rose Corte. Do join us for more news updates on our subsequent news bulletins. Also tune in to our other channels on UIFM and 3FM for more news updates. Good afternoon.